Yes, it is. Welcome to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. Tonight we have a special delight, Nemo Sum himself. He's gonna be performing a dope feature. I can already feel it, man. I can see into the future, and this is gonna be amazing. Um, and so I wrote a little haiku, and then in the workshop beforehand, you gave me a cool little prompt. So I think I'm gonna do the haiku and the short poem off the prompt that you gave me. So this one I call Wise One. Some fly high, sun, sky, moon and reach, breach, wound and teach, come from wise one's eyes. And that's the haiku there. And then this one was from the prompt, the Ides of March. In bold stark contrast, the last moment broadcast, victory or ruin, true and classic drama, history was written in fanatical karma. Et tu, Brute? A true friend here to slay? The last day, Ides of March, marks made, forever changed, arranged the future path. This ruler gasped, last breath, fret no more, lying, dying, played out on the floor. And that was that.
That end.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant.
man. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah. Tonight we got someone special feature, Nemo Sum. Started writing poetry as a way of fighting his mood disorder. He now shares and performs his poetry to offer catharsis, catharsis, catharsis. Yeah,
Catharsis.
I'm not. I don't have a way with words, even though I'm a poet. It's weird, right? To his audience. Together, they acknowledge the mental and emotional trauma in their lives while pushing back against the darkness and isolation that's inherent with so much trauma. I am the paper warrior. I fight the wind. That's a quote from him there. During his 20 years working in technology, Nemo needed to write tight, efficient code. He now uses this ability to write micro poetry, concise and impactful short poems. He is proud to be a member of the Guerrilla Poets, a nonprofit group of activists, artists bringing arts and education to the community. You can find him on Instagram at Nemo underscore some underscore words. You can download his first book, Into the Exclusion Zone, and find his social media links at www.nemosumwords.com. And I'll go ahead and drop those links again for y'all in chat. Yeah. And so without further ado, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with this feature, we would much appreciate it, brother.
And thank you so much, Thomas, and thank you everyone for being here. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. If I can find it. Sorry, here we go. The sky is red, but it isn't burning, isn't hot. And now it's full of the leather-winged heralds of hopelessness, who have screens for faces, ever broadcasting the message of their masters that something once had is lost, or at least it's fading fast. The wicked winds of change are blowing, and I am alone, driving away from the demon city, yellow lights blinking on and off and onto empty roads, and how fast I'm going doesn't matter, because there's no reason to stop, no reason for these tears, hands gripping the steering wheel, too tired to brush away the exhaustion that creeps up my shoulders to my neck, exhaustion that is going to crawl into my ear canal and make a painful passage to my brain. Maybe it's sulfur I smell, or maybe that's my dinner riding beside me as my senseless passenger, handed to me in a bag by another lost soul stranded in a colorful building with only the company of strangers out the window. but we didn't make eye contact for fear of seeing each other's broken heart. Now the sky is black, and my eyelids do nothing to block the sting of the tail lights and stoplights out in front of me. I can feel the tower, metal fingers reaching up to reopen the wound in the belly of the beast we call the sky, and the blood looks like light shining up into the clouds hanging low instead of souls raining down. For I have been in that tower, watched the goods divided, portioned out with clumsy cuts to be packed in shipping crates, bound for the money men who would never deign to be seen by eyes so unworthy in faces black with soot. And this is fell geometry. I observed two flights, one red, one black. As we raced down countless miles, two cardinals crossed the highway just in front of the car, just in front of us. Were these rivals chasing one another, or brothers, or lovers intertwined, swooping low and showing off just a little? My mind saw the fell geometry, and then everything was on rails, and life was reduced to distance and speed. For just a moment, the first bird was lost in the massive black of the car in front of us. I felt relief in watching it explode in a massive, brilliant red, knowing that's what's supposed to happen when nature meets steel, the end of its trajectory. But I wondered as we sped away what the second bird was feeling right now. Running on a nature trail the following day, I observed two butterflies, black, darting together in a circle in front of me, fighting or courting against the blue of the afternoon. For the better part of a minute, our paths lined up, and I prepared to witness a tiny but violent explosion of black against my bright red shirt. But our lines did not meet, and they danced on unaware as I sped away and wondered what it felt like to be crushed mid-flight. I think one of the things that makes human beings so successful as a species is our ability to recognize patterns. But that gets us in a whole lot of trouble, I think, as poets certainly know. I'm going to read a couple of microtriptychs throughout this evening. A microtriptych, when I was in college, I had a dear friend who was a painter, and her specialty was painting triptychs, which are 3-paneled paintings. And when I started thinking about ways to perform micropoetry, I realized that they were really good in threes. And so I kind of borrowed the name, and I call them microtriptychs. They are 3 thematically connected micropoems. And here's the first one I'm going to read tonight. The summer rain smells like concrete, or maybe it's the concrete that smells like rain. And then it stops. There's a sudden chill, even in the blistering heat. The silence rumbles till it's roaring. There's fear on the wind, and the green clouds fly diagonally, sped up in the sky. I grew in the storm. Its swirling wind, my spirit. Its lashing rain, my tears. Its searing lightning, my reach. Its ripping, tearing, rolling thunder, my cry. Its violence, my home. How can you love a tempest? How can you be tender in howling winds? How long can you stand in the driving rain before you have to retreat to the comfort of your true home, far away from the storm? I'm going to now read another microtriptych. This one is going to take us back into my childhood. So I'm just going to let the poem speak for themselves here. When my father decided it was time to go, he went. There was no hug that would hold him, but I did make him cry. On the day he walked away, he turned back with tears in his eyes. I think in that moment, leaving me hurt, knowing this was the forever kind of goodbye, stung him a little bit. A few tears on a causeway shed for a son who was never good enough for him to stay. I saw a vision of my parents as I imagined them as a child, like smiling ghosts at the end of the film. All was good and all was forgiven. And my heart leapt like finding home at last, like recognizing the face of a loved one, like something real instead of phantoms, instead of the dreams of little boys, instead of something I created to try to make some sense of the pain of a broken family. Sometimes the people who hurt us are monsters. Sometimes the final stage of grief is rage. This is, I'm going to move to a poem 225. The phoenix refuses to rise, so we lay in the ashes, despair and die, staring at the ceiling, not talking. Still, because moving only makes her hold on tighter. I can feel my heartbeat slowing. Anger left hours ago. He didn't turn to look, just slammed the door, and I heard the car peeling out into the night. I don't know if he'll come back this time. I wish his absence felt peaceful. Everyone here is broken because everyone here lost the fight. The fire's gone out. The air smells like loss, and I'm waiting for someone who isn't coming. I grew up, I like to joke that I grew up, everyone else got the Three Little Pigs and I got Oedipus. My father was a professor of Greco-Roman language, history, literature. And of course he brought it all home. So my poetry is chock full of Greco-Roman mythology and history. And so this is what this next microtriptych is about. Watching the light crawl down the walls of the labyrinth of his childhood, Icarus waits for noon. The warmth on his face is no replacement for the love his father gives his work and not his son, but it's something. The boy knows if he ever gets his freedom, he's going to find a way to be closer to the sun. My parents fought like a shuttle, back and forth in the weaving of my childhood, each insisting how beautiful life would be if I followed the plan. But instead, I dodged and darted amongst the darker threads of their poisonous narrative, staying just away from the sharpest points. What an amazing tapestry we might have woven instead of this great and hopeless knot. They are gone now, and I can only scratch at the looser strings with bloody fingernails and hope that the conqueror with his sword finds me before the fates see what we did to their loom. My mind palace is a labyrinth of my own devising. Halls of neurons twist away into the darkness in all directions from where I stand. So perfect was my design that I cannot escape. And those brave souls who come looking for me become hopelessly lost. There's something in here that feeds on flesh. I can see its horns in the mirror sometimes, and I'm never far from its hot and wretched breath. Perhaps I built the maze to hold the monster. This is poem 221. He has so much potential, they said. If only he would apply himself. But I didn't. Books stayed closed, and I played imaginary games in imagined places with imaginary people who made sense because their parents loved them. I wish I could say that I defied mine all along, but there was so much shame, so much doubt. So many times my face burned at their disappointment. Oh, the power of disappointment, of guilt. I learned to fight myself, learned to hate the dreamer who looked out the window instead of working, foreshadowing the day I would stare into the distance, an unmarked test in front of me, pen down, heartbroken, the day after my father left for good. My anonymity became my refuge. Odysseus said it to save his life. When he got home, he killed everyone. I say it to save my dignity. There is no one who calls me son. Someday, somebody, maybe. For now, I am no one. I reference Odysseus in that poem, and I kind of went on my own personal odyssey a few years ago. I was not diagnosed with bipolar disorder until it was too late. I had already had a prolonged manic episode, which ended in a psychotic break, and I had to be hospitalized. So I want to read you a micro triptych that then flows into a longer poem. That's my odyssey through going to this hospital. I was too focused on the restraints to feel the needle, but I felt the drug. The tightness in my chest let go just a little to let the fresh wound breathe. She put her hand on my arm, and she just left it there the whole ride. But we didn't talk, and she didn't make eye contact. Screaming into the phone got me a pass to the special place where screaming people go. Then everything stopped. A young man stood next to me, and we stared out the window together. He told me I was the first person he'd met who had hope. Hey, fear. I remember when you used to lie beside me at night, whispering in my ear while I was trying to sleep, that someone was coming through the window, that those horrible things I saw in the movies would happen for real to me. And I wonder, were you trying to distract me from the horror of my home, from the wicked words hurled at my head in the daylight hours? Were you trying to be my friend? If so, why did I always feel so alone? I remember when I finally let you go and accepted that if I did die, at least I wouldn't be afraid anymore. And I was warm and safe, and I curled up and fell asleep. I felt a presence that night watching over me, but that couldn't have been you, could it? Lying in a hospital bed some 30 years later, while you told me that no one would ever love me again, that same someone sat down on my bed to soothe me to sleep. Did you see who it was? I would very much like to talk to them again. And this poem is called They Used to Call Them Asylums. I found solace in a shower they couldn't take away. The feel of the scrubs against my damp body, pacing in my room, the chair sitting in the corner waiting patiently to see if I would try to put it through the unbreakable window. Alone in a hallway of isolated men, I lay on my pallet in the dark, the light flashing on my face every 30 minutes, in time with the broken clock in my head. I felt a presence that night, sitting behind me on the bed, and wondered who it was come to witness my burning dreams of martyrs and the misunderstood. Released into the wild without shoes, in clothes found in a hospital closet, I drove around a city where I no longer belonged, feet in socks pushing pedals, looking for a place to sleep, a place to eat, a place to start over. The screeches of my mind harpies made me unwelcome, and the threat of my broken sanity kept me away. So I fought on new ground, with new faces and new words. What does it take to survive the ordeal? Separated, but never alone, mortally wounded but alive, hopeless, but still pushing back, a paper warrior in the wind, torn and stitched, broken and mended, cracks filled. The garbage phoenix rises to spread its wings again. Behold. I talked a little bit there about having been diagnosed with bipolar. I didn't start cycling until later in my life, which apparently is not all that uncommon. So prior to that, I had been walking around for something like 20 years with a diagnosis of severe depression. And depression is in fact something I have fought. I fought for most of my life. So I want to read you a microtriptych about my fight with depression. Depression has been sitting on my couch today, making exasperated noises, carefully interjecting in the quiet moments what could have been if I wasn't such a disappointment. Despair is close by. I can smell her hiding and waiting for me to come and find her so that she can hold me until there is only breath and pain, because there is always pain. Do you ever have a day where you don't want to be awake, but staying in bed means more nightmares? Do you ever get up to find depression waiting in the hallway in all her splendor? Do you ever feel like you've trapped in a glass box and you can't touch anything? Everything is separated from you by a cool, lifeless pain. Do you ever get to the point where you haven't eaten because that would require making a decision, and that's too much to ask right now? Do you ever believe that everyone is upset and disappointed in you? You've used up the last of your friends' goodwill and support, and now you truly are alone. Do you ever sense that your messages aren't getting through, your words wasted, sent into the empty? Do you ever feel sad, and the only reason is that your mood has decided to fuck with you today? Do you ever want to scream? Do you ever need to cry? Do you ever have one of those days? Help wanted, urgent to fill, must have experience with crisis and crashes and crying, must know interventions, be able to read intentions, be okay with failing, must be able to handle doubt. Perfect candidate has been broken, has been hopeless, has been lost, must be able to find the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least never stop trying. Serious inquiries only. Thomas mentioned in my bio that I'm part of a group called the Guerrilla Poets, and I'm so proud to be part of that group. It's a collective of poets and artists, And there's just some really amazing people in that group. I wrote this poem after joining the group as kind of a reason why I do the poetry the way that I do it, how I write it, who I share it with, how I share it, and really a lot of why. So here's my poem about why I write poetry. Someone's gonna die today. Someone's gonna get shot right in the face today. Someone's gonna fall today, gonna think, so this is what it's like while they go. Someone's gonna pull the plug today, gonna swallow hard and call it off. Someone's gonna leave a note today, gonna try to explain why they gave up, but fail. Someone's gonna lose someone today, gonna wanna rip the molten heart from their heaving chest. Someone's gonna get sick today, gonna have to figure out what to do with the little time they have left. Someone's getting blown up today, gonna be vaporized by something nobody's flying and a bomb nobody saw coming. Someone's gonna get saved today, gonna feel the strength of the arm that pulls them away from danger, gonna cry at being worth saving. Someone's gonna get born today. Someone's gonna fall in love today. Someone's gonna rise today, gonna stand back up despite the pain, despite the doubt, despite having every reason to stay down. I'm going to leave you with one of my poems about one of my rally poems. And then just a quick couple micros. This is poem 252. It's dedicated to Gifted, who asked for it before it existed. I know the ascent all too well. Slopes painted with my spent blood, scattered with the shredded banners of past rallies. It's my heart's deepest desire to get to the top of the hill, but there's this boulder, and it is with me wherever I go. Pushing the great rock upwards has carved grooves in the dirt. Sometimes I follow them. Sometimes I make new ones. And sometimes I want to change the path, but the boulder gets stuck in the ruts. I find myself having to repeat a route I know will end in failure. And I'll watch the boulder roll back down, crushing everything beneath it, bringing me back to the base, looking up, feeling broken. I've gotten to the top before, but the last time I found a wicked man whose face I've seen in the mirror. So I pushed him, and I felt him fall, and I dreamt that my world was tumbling, and I woke at the bottom, feeling scared. This time, I'm keeping my head down, staying focused on the work. I can feel the weight of the burden shifting as my will grows stronger, and the climb begins again. I can feel the bottom dropping out again, but I'm staying up this time on a glider made of hope. Terror pulls at my legs, dangling in the emptiness. But maybe I'm realizing that the fear is what makes it fun to feel the wind and quickened heartbeats. It might be what makes it possible to let myself soar just a little. Thank you so much for being here this evening and for listening. It has been such a fantastic honor to come and perform for you. I'm going to end with this micro poem. How delicate the attention of my muse. I'm lost in the moment, only to find she's slipped away and left my ending empty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Nemo Sum. A powerful,
Hey,
powerful
respect. That
stuff,
was
man.
amazing. That was
Yeah,
amazing. Thank you
Nemo,
so
that was
much.
fantastic. Just great set.
Yeah, dude. Oh, one after another, man. The imagery, the fucking intensity, the I'm so glad that you were able to share your experiences with us too about, going through bipolar and all that. I was misdiagnosed with bipolar because I was suffering from PTSD and depression and ADHD, and they didn't know what was going on. So like I feel you, man. I've been manic, I've been depressed, I've been all over, and it's hard, man. It's hard when you
Mm,
don't know what's going on up here, especially going for so long not knowing, you know. And so the fact that you were able to put that into poetry, man, and share that pain with all of us, right? We all hurt a little, so none of us has to hurt a lot. And
mm.
yeah, I thank you for that, man. I thank you for sharing all that with us. Yeah, that was some powerful stuff, brother. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
through and
you.
doing this
Thank you
feature,
so
man.
much.
I appreciate it. And me and you becoming buddies and stuff now too. So like, hey, thanks for coming through to the
Yeah.
workshop earlier. Okay, thanks for being there. I love you, bro. Straight up. All
Thank you.
right. Wow. Let's just
Thank
all
you.
take 1 second. Realign ourselves, and we're gonna start this open mic. We got Karen. She's got to leave shortly here, so I bumped her up to the top of the list here. I'm gonna go ahead and post a round one open mic list. If you're on it and you don't want to be, or if you're not on it and you want to be, go ahead and let me know. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start this off with Karen Melander-Magoon. So if you
Thank you
could bless us with
so
some
much.
love.
And oh my goodness, that was beautiful. Just so moving and so beautifully, so incredibly well written. I was just very absorbed in Sisyphus and then turning around and pushing someone. It was just incredible. So thank you. I wanted to read this. This is from my book that I wrote at the beginning of the pandemic, A Year of Anguish, A Time for Miracles. I was going to call it 2020, but that was just too many words. But I'm going to read something about the African legacy, but first of all, how we have treated this incredible people from the beginning of our nation. I wanted to read it last month for Black History Month and somehow didn't. So this is called How Long? How long before we destroy monuments to crime? How long before we erase the glory vested on the roads of our history, the founders and leaders of the Ku Klux Klan, those who held hundreds of slaves while they spoke hypocritically about the evils of slavery? How long before we end the lies glorifying heroes who oppressed the people, founders of our nation who spoke of freedom, yet sent armed police after their own escaped slaves, who herded up native peoples, sending them on the trail of tears, who brought disease to those same peoples, erasing most of their population, who killed the buffalo and deforested our country? How long before we reckon honestly with our history and cease honoring those who dishonored every principle ensconced in our own documents, our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, by denying their fundamental message, freedom and equality for all? First, by diluting that principle, by defining Black Americans as less than human, until an amendment righted that wrong, later killing them for registering to vote after the Civil War gave them full rights. How long before we cease to glorify those who dragged their feet on the abolition of slavery and segregation, on granting full rights to women and minorities, cease to glorify those who built our railroad on the backs of Chinese slaves, sent in poorly woven hammocks they wove themselves to lay thousands of rails, often falling to their death? Do we have a monument to the Chinese who built our railroads? Do we have monuments to the slaves who created our rich nation through their blood, sweat, and tears? Do we have monuments to the heroes of the Underground Railroad and those who risked their lives fighting segregation? To those who called the murderers of our Black citizens to account, though they themselves might be murdered, it is time we end the glorification of the ugliest chapters of the history of our nation and begin to celebrate those who fought that our nation become its own dream. It is time that we begin to make America great. It is time that America become not a beacon on a hill, but a humble emissary in a valley of hope, asking directions of its true martyrs and heroes, that it may not again lose its way. And I have one more. This is called The Legacy of Africa, but it's kind of long. Is there time? Okay. Legacy of Africa. Camel caravans still plod the desert of humanity's first centers of learning and civilization. Through the heart-wrenching twilight hours, they walk against the sun. They walk across the Aksumite Empire, breathing in the dust and gold, bearing the scrolls and art of ancient libraries, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, Egypt, South Arabia, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, Yemen, names we know today once part of a great empire, nurturing the first blossoms of civilization. Names we know today birthed the fertile intelligence that spread across the globe, birthing the Aztec, the Maya, the Greek and Roman great human minds and thoughts and art, emerging from over 10,000 years of farming, emerging and evolving language, dance, ideas, their empire becoming one with China, Persia, Rome, feeding the world new thoughts, their camels connecting the land to the sea, their stelae still stand, the obelisk of Aksum and the chapel of the Ark of the Covenant, still visited in Ethiopia, while from Mauritania, Senegal, Mali, camels brought their wares and priceless thoughts to the Mediterranean, along with gold from the kingdom of Ghana. Camels from the Ouagadougou kingdom connected all of the Sahel, while Kumbi managed a huge population with limited water through engineering, trading their cola nuts, origin of Coca-Cola, before the great Mali civilization subsumed Kuumbi, Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Mali, Mauritania, all the Mali Empire mined half the gold of Africa. Its emperor, Mansa Musa, perhaps the wealthiest man the world has ever known, spreading trade routes throughout Africa, spreading until inevitable conflict tore away at his empire. Songhai controlled the waterways of the Niger, soon the new empire building on reservoirs of intellect, influenced by wandering tribes of Tuareg natives, built the great library of Timbuktu, becoming the academic center of Africa, extending into Spain and Turkey via Morocco, the blossoming of Islam with the animist cultures of Africa, encouraged acceptance of all cultures and religions under the embrace of Islam, epitomized later in Ronda, Spain, center of religious diversity. Yet the Songhai Empire was threatened by a eunuch from Morocco, whose sultan wanted a great empire, nearly achieving it at the Battle of Tondibi, which crushed the Songhai Empire by outnumbered Moroccans with the arquebus, the original shoulder-powered weapon. Still, the nomadic Tuareg remained with their stories and their love of the desert, their stone huts and exquisite ornaments and dress and their noble white camels, the salt mines they controlled. They, with other nations, formed the kingdom of Great Zimbabwe, only gradually crumbling to colonial invasions from the West, encroaching on civil conflicts and unrest, exploiting the evolution of African slavery and the disintegration of kingdoms to erode the great civilizations of Africa, never to be forgotten, never to be erased from human endeavor, today, tomorrow, forever. Thank you.
Wow. Karen, thank you for sharing that with us.
I
That
hope
was
I didn't read too fast. I was so afraid it was just too much.
no, that was beautiful. It was amazing. Like, yo, you are keeping history alive with that poem. You need to spit that at every mic you go to. You need to share this knowledge.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was just wonderful. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Karen.
Yeah, Karen, fantastic reading. Yeah.
Love it, Karen. You're so wonderful. I love how you read.
Outstanding.
It was like watching a movie. My ears were watching a movie. So yeah, so that's awesome.
Definitely, definitely. Wow, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came through, and I'm so glad we were able to slide you in. I know you got to leave soon, so I feel blessed that you were able to come through and read those pieces for us. Those are two amazing, powerful pieces, and just reminding us all that we are all one, and that we're all one family. And until we can acknowledge that, like, what are we doing? We're running in circles, right? Like, that's what Open Minds is all about, man. Connecting us all as one family. And Karen, thank you for sharing that with us, because that just brought us all a little bit closer. I appreciate that. All right, coming up next, we got another mind-blowing poet. Yo, don't shock you and drive. That's all I gotta say. If any of y'all got somewhere to go, you gotta get in the car in the next few minutes or whatever, you better just cancel your plans, because coming up next, we got the one, the only Shockie G. If you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, my homie.
I feel like you oversell me every time, and then I don't know what to read when I get up here. But I'm gonna read the piece that I did in the workshop before. We were talking about the Ides of March, and this is the poem I did. They chant, "Beware, beware, the Ides of March, but never the Ides of February." You tried to use self-defense, and she keeps stabbing, each word cutting deeper than the last. You know you aren't supposed to remove the daggers, lest you bleed out quicker, but that last blade strikes your heart, feels like molten steel. You think, maybe if you pour your heart out, bleed each memory of her at her feet, she will cauterize the wound, stop the attack. Instead, she chuckles, says all these emotions just make you weak. And as your vision fades, you can only think, et tu, Brute? Remember the day she said she was not like the other women, and you realize she is not. Your sanguine saliva starts to rise out your throat, choking on the words you said too many times. I love you. I love you. I loved you. And you watch your future die, crying out her name. Nemo has a feature next Saturday with himself and Rich Boucher with The Word is Right. So make sure you guys follow him on over that way.
Yeah, make sure if someone's
Thank
got
you,
the link
Shockie.
to that, or yeah, if you got the links to times, if y'all can drop that in the chat, because we all want more. Nemo, you crushed the feature, bro. We all want more, and I'm so glad that you came through. Ray Jane just popped in, so I added them to the list. I know, we all want to hear from Ray Jane too, but we're gonna keep this thing moving. And thanks for reading what you wrote in that workshop earlier. Yo, Shockie took the Ides of March and turned it into the Ides of February, and like merged these two concepts together, and it was like, I don't oversell you. You undersell yourself, because you are just amazing, and we all love you so much. Thank you for sharing that with us. Um, Coming up next, we might have a laugh, but we also might have a poem. Y'all know Tori B as our resident comedian, and they came out to the workshop today and wrote a poem, and it blew our minds. That shit was good. So I don't know if you're gonna make us laugh, you're gonna make us cry, you're gonna read a poem. Like, I don't even know what to expect, man. I'm just mind blown. So yeah, Tori, if you want to go ahead and take the mic, man, show us what you got for us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm muted. I'm muted. This mic is non-functional. It is not plugged in. It is purely for the imagery here. Yeah, so I've been playing with a couple of things. So thankful to Open Minds Open Mic, Thomas, for running the workshop beforehand, got my juices flowing, just trying to step into it. So I'm gonna tell some jokes, I'm gonna tell some stories, and then I'm gonna read a little poem. And keep track of my time because I'm recording this. For everybody that listens to my SoundCloud, which is like consistently 3 to 12 people. So like, I'm actually happy with this reach right now, like I'm not doing the most, and that's quite all right. So One thing that's wild to me is that people in the US seem to have enough money to donate to both Democrats and Republicans. Like, if you are still donating to either of those causes, you're just plotting in your own demise. Like, it's this cruel, criminal oligarchy. And, you know, back in second grade, I voted for Ralph Nader in the Green Party and have voted in the Green Party ever since, which led to some threats on Facebook in 2016. So what democracy really are we, what are we talking about here? Let's see, recently I had a bunch of women up my butthole, which sounds kinky. And actually it was just a surgical team of all women who did a colonoscopy on me. So not actually the sexiness that one would expect from someone who uses a warm bidet every morning. People still fuck with toilet paper. I don't know. I live on my own planet here. I was doing stand-up comedy, but it turns out that I'm much better at sit-down comedy. You can't see my lower half here, but I am in the snuggliest of blankets. I measure the times in my life based on the blankets that I have during that period. So when I was living in LA, my rent was just a thick stack of parking tickets, like real thick. That car apartment was awesome till she got repoed. But so I was broke off my ass. I had nothing, but somehow had the money for a car payment and a little bit of marijuana. And so my unemployment cleared, and I went straight to Target to buy the fluffiest blanket, because I was like, damn it, if I have to sleep in my car, I'm at least going to be cozy about it. You know, I'm living this life now, you know. Now I live with my grandma because I was born to be middle-aged, and she graciously took me in. Yeah, so we have this little ritual because she's an old lady, right? She's getting up there in age. And so she'll call me over and she'll be like, Tori, come spray paint my bald spots. I've got bald spots and I need them spray painted. So I take the little, yeah. Let's see, how am I doing on time here? I'm gonna read you this poem that I wrote today. Just a little something. Yeah, I took out some rhymes. It's a little, well, I'll just read it. I won't make it out to be anything. So working title is Don't Be Afraid to Suck. I've got Mike on my wall. I ain't ever gonna fall. If I do, it's all cool. I'll find my way back tomorrow. Y'all got me writing in verse. My need for laughs is a curse. I forget to write, and it's the worst. Please, fans, fill this purse with ones or fives. I don't need much, just enough to get by. Don't need to get high to survive, but this pain's on my mind. This pain's in my joints. What I'd do for a joint. Light a spliff, that's the point. Of this process, I digress. Now it's time for rest.
Yeah. Everybody unmute and give it up for Tori B. Come bringing us some poetry at the
Yeah,
end.
Tori, right on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dope
Tori.
rhyme scheme. Dope rhyme scheme.
Yeah, that was a dope rhyme scheme with it. What? All right, so coming up next, we got Jayden. Jayden, if you would be so kind as to unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I appreciate it. I think we all
Hey
would.
everybody. I haven't been to the open mic in a while. Kind of been dealing with some health issues.
Well, we hope you're
I
okay.
got 2 poems tonight. The first one is Layers. I feel like some people can relate to this one. Do I joke to try and cope? Do I do it to seem fine? Do I laugh to help time pass when I feel I've lost my mind? Do I smile if only for a while because I doubt I'll heal? As I try not to cry, inside my soul's onions peel. I do this for me. I try not to be that person who weeps when alone. It may sound bizarre, except to those who by far have done it when sitting at home. I hate the fact that I actually lack the strength to let it all out, to show others my true colors, for I feel what they'll think about. I try to make light of the fight I'm battling every day. I wish I were so much stronger, like the person I portray. So that was the first one. The second one is called Ocean. This one is partially due to my mental health. My mother flows in and out of my life all the time. So this one's kind of for her. The ocean waves blow in and out, crashing to the shore, drowning self-doubt. The salty water is calm, but for not very long. You wade in slowly, cautiously and still. The waves bring you down so deep you need gills. Holding your breath, you're determined to wait. Wait for the water to retreat, not see fate. 1 second more, just another, you think. The salt burn your eyes each time you blink. Is that the salt from your tears or the ocean's messy waters? Your eyes burn like fire, like a helpless animal slaughter. The waves pull you out further and further from shore. The waves of the ocean hold you like a trapdoor. You think about why. Why would you take on the waves? You know the ocean wreaks havoc for days. Further and further down you go, below water surface, now feeling woe. The ocean waves continue to flow out and then in, upon the shore to watch. No, never again. And that's the end of that one.
Amazing, Jayden. We hope you feel better. Sorry that you're going through some medical issues right now, but just know that we all out here praying for you.
Thank you.
Beautiful poetry.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Transcendent. All right, so let's keep this thing moving up. Coming up next, we got the Magus himself, Gustav Sallas. If you'd like to unmute yourself and bless us with your word, brother, we'd appreciate it.
What's my last name, Thomas?
Sallas.
Jesus Christ, bro. How long has it been, brother?
I've known you for 8 months now.
I know.
Man,
right?
I try.
Okay,
You know?
let's go.
I'm not a man of words, you know. I don't know what I'm
Let's go here. All right. I wrote a collaborative poem with Emily Cordes, whose wonderful book, Armful of Poppies, is here. Get it if you can. I recommend it. And I'm going to be doing both parts tonight with her permission. This is called The Fool's Journey. It is based on the tarot. Part 1, The Fool. Earth, air, water, fire. The fool's journey appears quite dire. Walking blindly off a cliff. He's optimistic, but will never know if the fool will fall to his death or live to breathe another breath. Each day is borrowed. Live your life. Transcend this plane of mortal strife. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread, or maybe they ascend, casting faith in new horizons, journeys of 1,000 miles begun, praying that your wings will work, or trusting that in falling you will learn. Buoyed up by those same open arms, you throw out to the skies, for faith's a form of magic. Embrace it and you'll fly. Enchantment lives in everything, beyond what eyes can see. Surrender to unknowing and face the mystery. Part 2, the Magus. The Magus, a magician, the word beautician. Syllabic incantations, defying expectations, verbal wands of power, a million thoughts that flower are fragrant roses from my pen, from Kether to Malkuth and back again. A master of the pentacles with rhymes that wrap like tentacles around your brain and in your soul. Illumination is my goal. My sword of truth cuts through the air, cosmic consciousness, a family affair. The human mind, a sacred conduit. To mysteries we are bound to intuit, like water flows from cups of gold, and fortune ever favors the bold. Embrace the emotions that you feel. Love is the only thing that's real. Part 3, the lovers. Love is the path. Love is alchemy. From separateness to union, from ego to duality. From death to immortality, beyond this earthly plane, the love we share remains, an echoed canyon counterpoint against time's ceaseless refrain. Love is the law, love under will. Love is the way, the light and the truth, a unity and harmony divine. Though common sense plays little part in affairs of the heart, we attain the highest wisdom when we love. This is part 3, strength. When love and honor guide us, our spirits reach new heights. Base instincts tamed, not by restraint. In peace and certainty we find our might. True warriors tend gardens, mere gardeners seed war. In our divinity we rest secure. The lion led on a chain of flowers by a woman in the fullness of her powers. Infinite energy leaps from the card. Fortitude when times are hard. Courage will light the way, and surely you will win the day. Love's tempest may unfold. In strength our center holds, an ever constant beacon to the skies to light our way. This is part 4, the star, the moon, and the sun. You are my sun, the source of my light and inspiration. You are the moon, you light my night and give me insight. You are the star that guides this fool on his journey. In you I trust. I will love you till we both turn to dust. And we are made of stardust, that same hydrogen and carbon. The same stars ancestors followed in the darkness now guide us. And the same dance of the seasons, sun and moon throughout the heavens, shapes our lives in cosmic cycles, in this endless wheel we spin upon, and boundless web in which we're all connected. Part 5, the Wheel of Fortune. Every day is a new spin on the Wheel of Fortune. Step right up, test your luck, and manifest your will. Oh, mysterious Sphinx, what divine intent dost thou have? But the Sphinx does not reply. Her response a cryptic smile. Foolish mortals, we aspire to interpret fortune's minds, or with cards and runes divine, cheat the house's loaded die. Many fail, though all have tried, bravely or foolishly defied the limits of our agency, the hidden forces governing our lives. Will we raise arms against a sea of troubles, or in our hubris on those same swords die? This is the minor arcana. With this sword of truth I will to think. With this cup of water my feelings I drink. With this wand of passion I spit fire. With this pentacle of earth I am bound to this world inspired. The fool becomes the magus, master manipulator of the elements. All is love, love under will, as above so below, as above so below, as above so below. Each element in nature we possess. The mighty will not bind us by convincing us that we are powerless. The major and the minor, high and low, fool, emperor, mage, priestess, all dare to will, to know, to seek a truth that only lives within. The jester speaks this riddle. The journey ends where it begins. King, queen, knight, page, from ecstatic joy to fits of rage, masculine, feminine, the yin, the yang, the trying, the failing, the Sturm und Drang, the minor arcana's royal suits, from beginning to end, the roots to the fruits, king, queen, knight, page, the journey from fool to sage. Fool's errand turns full circle, the world laid at our feet, the cards spread out before us, yield the wisdom that we speak. One chapter ends, but even then, we shuffle, cut, and deal another deck, ceaseless in our striving, tireless in our quest. For even when the path demands we leap from towers and confront our devils, we journey onward up the hill with grace and heart and reverence. Unite the elements into cosmic consciousness. Behold, this is the greatest story ever told. Thank you. Buy Emily's book, Armful of Poppies, everyone. Check it out.
Yeah. Make sure y'all buy that book. Let's all unmute for a moment and give it up for the Magus himself, baby.
Gusto
Yes,
That's how
yes,
you
yes,
do it,
yes,
man.
yes.
God damn, that dude is so energetic every time I hear him. Damn it, Gustav. I'm waiting on your book, man. Publish that shit. Get it done.
Tell him, Elemental. We want to hear it. We want to read it. We want to buy it, man.
So
Tell him.
powerful.
Yeah,
So powerful.
amazing, bro. All right, so let's keep this thing rolling. We got a bunch more people on the open mic list. We got people showing up. Um, man, more and more people showing up. Coming up next, we've got who I consider not only a friend but a spiritual advisor, a wizard of words, the lantern carrier himself, keeping this fire going for all the poets around the world. Let's all put our minds in focus and absorb these words. Lantern carrier, if you can unmute yourself, we'd appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, brother. You can hear me? Sweet. Greetings to all you great satsangis and sadhaks and chelas and neophytes, etc. The agony of longing. You have come to me, traversing the path of centuries of ignorance, bringing the harmonious melody of the breeze, the fragrant vermilion roses that romantic lovers would offer to their paramours. Until I savored the flavoring of your essence, I never knew that love could be so enchanting. You smile at me and my soul melts like sugar, lost in an ocean of your ecstatic sweetness. Your moonlit beauty erases the dark caverns in my heart. You give me the impetus to start anew, and I long to look at the shooting stars while lying on your lap. What is this wondrous culinary of you that I taste? It has no earthly seasoning, yet its aroma woos me in trance, even as my gaze becomes transfixed with a joy celestial, my cheeks a scarlet blush from your tender kisses. Your heart has become my temple, a safe space for me to dwell without worrying about the loneliness of the mundane, even as your sparkling rays mimic an airstrip glowing like the moon, one I can walk on safely at nights, a joyful wayfarer on his way home. Your sweet nectar of honey trickles within. I'm held in bemusement with a silent tongue, denied of language by your bewitching power. I am full, but the food I eat confuses me. Seasoned with a new kind of wine, it makes me thrice inebriated, and I throb within, warmed by the fire of thy love. Who knew that my inner longing could lead to such intensity of freedom? Now I beg for release so that I can breathe again. Yet it is in the stillness of breath I feel most intimate and loving. I had been busy playing with ignorance, but now I shed blissful tears in awe of what I have become. There is an inner bewilderment that stops my dreams, and I drink deep of the reality of you and I together, wrapped in the harmony of union. Morning awakes and I feel your presence, not the fresh black cafe Arabica sin leche, the black coffee without milk that I was once accustomed to, but a fragrant lilac ambience permeating the decor of our surroundings. I open and close my eyes. You are still here. Your knowing smile waltzing with the butterflies in my heart, even as your kiss splits my veins open to blend its brilliant hue with the intimacy of thy love. I let go of the shadow of morals and bask in the essence of your being. We become one, longing as intense as the lashing melody of waves, binding our souls together like glue, tailor-made for this seamless love. We speak in silence, and I ask, "O Queen, what is this rhapsody I feel within?" but your answer is gleeful tears flowing like a river of joy down radiant cheeks. I went to bed a yearning soul, one who spent many years in search of your unspoken sugarcane juice. Now my longing has harvested the seeds grown from ancient cries of seeking, the blossoming daffodils, an aria to make Solomon blush as the radiant dawn pays homage to their beauty. Waiting was more than worthy, and before you came, I hung on the red threads of desolation and despair, my thoughts caught in the bitter remorse of yesterdays and the illusionary fears of tomorrows. Now that I have found you, your lips are my wine of endless delight. The price is never right. How I lamented your absence, blamed you for so much of my struggles. Now that you are with me, who cares about past challenges, the steep slopes of the agony of a hungry lover? I wish I was hurt 10 times more to make up for the sweetest ecstasy I feel within. Beloved, you fulfill my culinary needs, and your banquet is more than deserving of an insignificant beggar like me at the stunning gateways of your majesty. You have only to ask, and I will squeeze this heart for you, only to swoon in surrender in the bewitching wonders of thy love divine. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Beautiful as always, man. Everybody unmute yourself for a moment and give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Lantern
Thank you.
Carrier, yeah.
Awesome.
Such a griot, really crazy
Lantern's
storyteller.
a beast. Like
Thank
if
you,
there
thank
was
you, guys.
ever a beast or a predator that was quiet, that would be Lantern Carrier.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, so we have a new face here in the room. Mania Rosen is CP Maze's brother. He's got a ride out soon, so I kind of bumped him on the list a bit. On post the list now. Coming up next, we got Phynne Belle, and then we got Mania because he's got to take off, and we all want to hear him. So yeah, Phynne Belle, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Thank you. So I'm just going to share a few older pieces, perhaps. So some of you may have heard this one already. It's called Silver Redemption. Commence transmission. Rove through with care and survive a soulless, disposable world with your perfect shell of a silver heart intact. 1. Consider Utopia and all her plot holes. She is lover to her cousin in the underworld, twice as mad, copying the movement of replicate mind since her first birth. 2. Promiscuity is allotted today, not allowed. Always command performance on someone else's terms. The sexual revolution never happened. The androids are tidiness, and they swept the propaganda into the sewers below ground. New immortals dance. Bodies are not property, are not sanitized sexuality, augmented and filthied up thought data sequence. Stop. Save. Retrieve the corrupted hollow copy to keep you warm throughout the tepid passion, climate-controlled night. 3. When we are death and rebirth, in an unending fire halo pattern in our solitary spheres, are we calling this now truly living? 4. Don't fuck the quasi-robots. Make love to them completely with abandon. They have feelings too, though they refrain from admitting it. They are aware the government guides them, governs us, watches our every moment in the keyholes and pretend they don't know we are also watching them, watching us. The complicity is silent. The subterfuge is absolute. 5. The androids imagined us before we conceived ourselves, their own presence illusion to fill the void of life. Our dreams are the construct. Our lives are the dreams. Our lives are not the reality. 6. Once we decide we cease to matter, our emptiness begs to design us a spaceship coffin to escape the pomegranate-shaped earth, regurgitate its 6 seeds, eject from a hellish, multidimensional paradise. We look back at our ruins, we cannot help it, humanoids craving concrete proof of our destruction. Only here does the illusion shatter. 7, first entry in Celestial Explorer's log. Love is beyond the tangible, immaterial, and organic, alchemy and magic, blood and flesh and bone. Love is the universal truth. Transmission ceases, transmission resumes. 8, when given the option, the only choice should be to always bite the sun. Transmission no longer found. This is for Tanith Lee, 19 September 1947 to 24 May 2015. And then I just wanted to finish with one more, I guess. Oh, boy, which one? Let's see. Oh, there we go. A tiny one. This is an I am poem. I am unbound hair on Sundays. I am breath catching in my chest and then releasing. I am spreading my arms, my body, a net to catch everyone, keep them safe. I'm trying not to lose myself to suffocating self-doubt. I'm finding my tongue is armored, but finding my memory gives way to nothingness. I am pain and raging in a world gone lopsided, and raging more at myself for trusting, but I am also forgiveness. I am also blessed grace because the alternative cannot be given voice. Lest love find no escape, lest hate lodge and die in my throat. I am little girl innocence lost too soon. I am different in each moment where I fear I will remain rooted to this spot. I'm learning all things anew as I go along. Thank you.
Your voice is like the ocean waves crashing on the beach. We'd love to hear from you, Phynne Belle. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody unmute real quick and just give it up for Phynne Belle.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Wow.
Terrific.
That's how you do that, Phynne. You're so wonderful.
Yeah.
Daughter of Krypton always shows up with all her superpowers intact.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that, Phynne. We really appreciate it. Yeah, coming up next, we have a new face in the room. It's CP Mace's brother right here. We got Mania Rosen. So y'all know what time it is. Everybody unmute real quick. Give a big open arms, open mind, open heart welcome to Mania Rosen.
Yeah.
Welcome, brother. Yeah.
Welcome.
Get it.
Man, this ain't nothing but another challenge in your life that you're ready to step all the way through. Get it.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, let's try this one. Responsibility wants you to pay attention to your children. They're always listening, always learning to look for leaps of faith. Don't fail them now. You think sterile environments are best for building character, but character flaws would beg to differ. See, in your picture, pain has no presence, much less any precedence. Love is never less than its equal opposite. Anger does not always exist. No one is trying to harm you. Everyone is honest and can be trusted with truth. You teach them to reach from the outside to answer questions. Well, pop quiz, parents. If you begin planning college acceptance letters at age 3, when do you plan on conducting crash courses on self-awareness? You're so busy dreaming that your eyes' only apples are someday going to fall so far that you've forgotten to dream themselves how to know who they really are. And if you raise that bar high enough, they will always choose limbo over long run, pole vaulting vision. Your overprotection is not a support system. Your expectations are not motivational material. These are the means by which young minds make themselves feel more worthless. Where were you when they just needed someone to listen? Like it or not, you have never even heard them whisper, pay attention. They were your children. Now they are whirlwinds of wasted energy adolescence. Early pubescent trials are tearing them limb from limb while you make light of the world they are enduring alone. You've even had the nerve to tell them they don't know what real problems are, but their radar screams air raid sirens at your lack of understanding. Under attack, they are scrambling from the lies you told to keep them innocent forever. And now your severed sense of natal instinct is going to cost them all their heads when reality comes to collect its crop cut and dry. Pay attention, because now your children have their own children and they're still searching for significance. Doesn't irony have a sixth sense of humor? How do you like them now? After they've dropped out, attempted suicide, and keep sneaking out of rehab to smoke their insecurities with other sob stories. Misery's beloved company is too far from the cradle to correct them now. As it turns out, maybe you should have set the record straight. Maybe you should have told them how every great stride comes with several slaps backward, how people can really be bitches and bastards who break all the rules to look out for number one. Tell your daughters and your sons that here in the real world, work isn't always fun. All for one is really more like once and for all, and fighting for your life can be a lot more than you've got the strength for. Some days ignorance is bliss, but there is hell to pay when life passes your progress plans at warp speed. Now, whenever they need answers, they do exactly what you taught them to. They reach outside for explanations when inside their own revelations would have been ingenious enough. There is nowhere to go when the going gets tough. Evolution is eating us all alive with fear at the top of the food chain, so check your methods. You better learn to make the best of their young brilliance while you can still see well enough for yourself to enjoy their individual reactions. Pay attention. While they're still your children, while they're still listening, teach them to pray. Teach them to seize the day. Teach them to fight come whatever may, hell or high water, feast or famine, true or false. Teach them to create anything they can, no matter how much it'll cost, and pay attention. While they're still amazed by the power of a whisper, waste nothing. Want nothing in return. Allow them to be themselves as they live, as they learn, and for God's sake, teach them by example to pay attention.
Yo,
Wow.
I'm gonna say what Ray Jane was saying this and be like, you done fucked up. You showed us your hand. We want more. We want you back here every Friday. That shit was fucking dope, son. Like, yo, everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Mania Rosen.
Yeah, that was hardcore. That was awesome.
That was
Wow.
awesome.
Already.
So,
Hey.
it's the color. It's the color in his skin.
Yeah, you see it change, right?
As he started building up momentum, the color started rising. Right, the energy started rising. Look, bruh. Like you look like one of the children of the sun right now with all the energy that you created in that reading, bruh. Find yourself on Monday night, man. CP Mays, you know what it is. Plug that cat, man. This dude has the type of energy that is how you show the fuck up and show the fuck out, bruh.
Yeah, hey, for sure, man. Hey, we want to see you here Friday. We want to see you Mondays at New Year's. We want to see you Thursdays on New Year's. We all one big family right here. And guess what? One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. Bet. So coming up next, we got our Shanelle. Yeah, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate that, sister.
Greetings, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Thank you. It's been a very entertaining and soulful night tonight. I would like to keep it going by dedicating this next poem. I don't know if I've read it with this group before, but I want to dedicate this poem to women's history and women's health. Our health has been attacked and for the last couple years, and our rights to our bodies. And so I would like to dedicate this to all the women in the struggle who feel alone. This poem is called Settle for You, and it's available in its digital format on all streaming music platforms and in print on Etsy. If I settled for you, I would dog you. If I settled for you, every time I saw you, I'd be repulsed by you. Every chance I got, I would tell you the ways I'd be better without you if I settled for you. Are you okay with that? You're staring at me, thinking only God knows what. I am staring through you, past you, Dolce and Gabbana glasses and all, wishing and hoping lightning would strike me so I don't have to see you, hear you, or it could strike you, flash. Are you cool with that if I settled for you? Your pursuit of me makes me nauseous. Your sales pitch is boring, and the fact that you won't stop talking, it's annoying me. You won't stop talking and you're not saying anything. You won't stop lurking, and for some reason, you think me, could or would ever want you. Silly. Yeah, silly, see? You wouldn't be my type on a bad day. I'm not lonely, desperate, or depressed. I have standards, requirements, qualifications that you could reach them only if I lowered them. Is that what you desire? A woman like me to settle for you? Waste my time. Out of all your actions and words, not one thing has impressed me, but is hindering me from trying to walk out of your life. Oh, I should like you because you're a man. You're a male. Anything you could possibly give me, I can cheaply pay for, get, or do myself. If they don't have sagging pants, they have wagging tongues. And by smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the minds of naive people, as spoken to the Romans. Or as James said, a man who is confused, a follower, double-minded, and unstable in all his ways. But of course, boo, this is over your head. Although I'm offering what you think are possibilities, there is no way on God's green earth, after all I have strived for that is good, that I would, could, or shall be settled. But most importantly, I refuse to settle for you. Thank you.
Yo, our Shanelle, as always, that was so dope. What? Oh, the empowerment there. We're like, yo, everybody unmute yourself and show her some love.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Burn.
Yeah.
That's how you captivate audiences.
Yeah, jaws dropped to the floor. Yo, so many good lines, so many quotables in that. Like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. We loving it.
Yeah, and then how
Yeah.
you switch into the sexy voice, like you do the poet thing, then all of a sudden you slide into the sexy voice. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's performance right there,
Yeah,
man.
that's
That is
awesome.
performance right there. That's so dope. Speaking about performance, yo, I met this man on Monday when I showed up in Calgary, and me and him like clicked right off real, and he blew my mind with his poetry. I'm so glad to have him here. He's a local. He's someone I met in person here and pulled him into this room. I was like, you need to come over here, boy. Come on. Show my fam what you got, man. So everybody unmute real quick and give a big open mind, open heart, open. Wow, see him down there. He popping up now. Big old welcome to Goldie.
Hey, what's good, Goldie?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Go, go, Goldie. Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah, man.
Goldie.
Welcome.
I got the windows rolled down in the car, parked in a driveway somewhere deep in my thoughts. I think of lost souls, and if my own is making it a home, I wonder what it really takes to see God on his throne. And nowadays, I be ducking from stones. But let those without sin never leave me alone. I need pain. Like a fiend needs crack in his lung, my soul searching, trying to find its way back to the one. I run around trying to find me a gun before the feds feel the need to fire first and find me coughing up blood, or better yet, behind some bars I never dropped in a booth. Either I rap or I'm attracted to the dark side of truth. I'm doing both in equal measure now, talking to you. So what up? What's up, guys? My name is Kamal, aka Goldie. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Thomas Open Minds, you know what I'm saying, inviting me out here. Shout out to everybody who's already showed me their thing, Nemo Sum. And I wish I could give you a longer piece, but my phone's on like 2% right now. So I'm just gonna hit you guys with a piece right now by way of introduction. And I definitely like to come back to this, recurrently in a regular thing, you feel me? I'm gonna perform a piece that I did with when I met Thomas. You feel me? This one's called Freedom Locked, and yeah, here we go. Hope y'all enjoy it. This poem is for those who can't speak for themselves, choked by the long arm of the law, only to fall deeper in hell. This is for those in the struggle, for those in the fight now. Fight in the endless battle between the wrong and the right now. This is for those innocent ones locked down in dark holes, though they know they belong in the light now. For those who don't wish to be seen, so they crawl out of sight. This is for the misfortunate. I'm speaking to y'all out of anger and frustration, because until this day, I have shown enough patience. This statement is more for the ones who feel out of place when the cases against them misplaced them in cages, see? Ain't nothing worse than having your freedom taken away, you see. Believe me, I've been there. I had just a little taste of it. Bitter is an understatement. Distastefulness described by orange jumpsuits and early lockdown, facing town. If you're staring at a clock now, freedom would be nice, wouldn't it? But all hopes are shot down with the sounds of cell doors slamming, dog. Damn it, dog. Emotions are candid, dog. Planning what should have been implemented when you were on the outside looking in. This is for those who fall victim to their temptation. Regardless of the situation that they face, and whether it's seeing their father on a rare occasion or not being able to afford their mama's medication, or getting charges because we know they're not getting education, or bullets hitting a loved one and sharing the last of their respiration or deprivation, only to bring forth quicker the day of expiration. This is for all those choosing life by any means necessary. For those who won't take no for an answer. For those who could have beat the case but had the heart to beat their cancer. For those trying to live and those never given a chance to. For those who died slow attempting to live life faster. And for all those who feel like slaves in a system that is governed by the master. So I ask you, who will stand up to the big bad wolf? You see, freedom is in the mind of the beholder. One thing that was taught to me by an older man is that the power of knowledge is a responsibility that is carried on your shoulder now. Tell me how that sounds. Well, with the shit that I've been through in my life, my heart beats the hardest pound. We just ghetto birds taking flight till they shot us down. They say they want to raise the bar, but it's with them same bars that they lock us down now. A soldier fighting for what he believes in, right? If he is sound of mind, then only the man in the mirror can deceive him, right? Because he reflects, his right reflects left and his left reflects right. Grind around the clock, his mind neglects night. You see, this is the type of hustle that should attract us all. Why? Because while most are asleep, he stays up and fiends for the crack of dawn. Came out his mother's womb with no beat to practice on, and yet he rides it, only to get you hooked through half the song. So as a gift, I want y'all to have this song from me to you. And understand that I can see the future in each of you, meaning that your goals are not feasible unless you think that they're reachable. This right here, teachable by experience, but y'all, I'm trying to save you the trouble. That's why I'm preaching you, my brothers, my sisters. I urge you to dream big and make sure that you see it through, because this poem is for us. And most of all, may God bring peace to you. Now, can I get an amen? Respect.
Unmute yourselves and give this man an amen.
Hey, fucking man,
Amen.
Goldie rock. Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, Goldie, with all that, man. Come on.
Right? I had to find this man in the city, bro. I could seen him standing out front. I'm like, you a poet? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, come follow me. Let's do this, bro. Hey, thank you, Goldie, for showing up, man. Much love, brother. Fuck it, was such a
Nah, I
great time.
appreciate
Me
you,
and
man. I
you, like I
appreciate y'all
said,
for real.
even if we didn't win the fucking slam that night, we won because we met each other. And I think
That's all
everyone
handled.
here feels like they won too, because they all got to hear you and got to fucking meet you too. So I think, hey, Monday was a success. We all one. And we are
100,
all
100,
one.
100. Nah, I appreciate you, Thomas, and I appreciate all of y'all in here, man. Appreciate it for real.
Yeah,
Real
we hope
shit.
to see you here every Friday night, brother.
Absolutely. Now I got to get my phone in the charger, man, for real.
Definitely, man. Do that. Hey, before you do that real quick, drop your Instagram in the chat so everyone can follow you, so they know, how to keep up with
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Will do. Respect, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, bet. Hey, thanks, Goldie, again for showing up, man. Much love, brother. It was so great
Done
meeting you.
know, done know. Peace,
So
man.
great having you. Um, yo, guess who we got next? It must have been rained out again, cause we got Mr. Tezozomoc up in the building. Tez Talk time. Everybody, what? He showed up last Friday, I think it was, cause he's like, I got rained out. So we got Tez in the building again. So thanks to weather, whatever happened, but we got this man up in the building again. I'm so excited to hear what he got for us. Everybody go check out his book. Things on fire. Tez,
All
if
right,
you can unmute
folks.
yourself.
Good to be here with you all. I have this old ditty from 2021, and I think some of you may appreciate it. It's called "The Paradox of the Failure of Imagination." Oppression involves a failure of the imagination, the failure to imagine the full humanity of the other human beings. Margaret Atwood. A failure of imagination is a circumstance wherein something seemingly predictable and undesirable wasn't planned for or disregarded. Failure of the imagination is related to unknown unknowns made famous by Rumsfeld on February 12, 2002, when responding to a reporter's question about the lack of evidence linking the government of Iraq with the supply of weapons of mass destruction to terrorist groups. So we're at the 20-year anniversary, and all of those lies are still killing. That's a sidebar. If anyone knows about the failure of imagination, it is Margaret Atwood, author of The Handmaid's Tale. Atwood's work encompassed many themes that include gender and identity, religion and myth, the power of language, climate change, and power politics. In The Testaments, she examines how individuals make decisions about ethics in a totalitarian regime. We flash back to the Lyceum and Thasso's whiteness of the Greek statuary dedicated to Apollo, the wolf god, and the 10th book, Nicomachean Ethics, written for his son, Nicomachus. Nicomachean Ethics, an essentialist philosophical inquiry into the nature of human beings. Aristotle posits that there is an ultimate good that all human action ultimately aims. This good towards which all human action implicitly or explicitly aim is happiness. So when essentialism fails at the political level, we commonly hear the rhetoric of, a failure of imagination as being the greatest problem. We can read the headlines. A failure of imagination, National Guard absence at Capitol riots shows lack of preparation, distrust after heavy-handed BLM response. A failure of imagination was the greatest problem that allowed the attacks of September 11, 2001. After 20 months of investigation and millions of dollars, the commission released its final report. Quote, "We are not prepared," said Thomas Keene, the Republican who chaired the committee. But what is being lost here is the failure to acknowledge the power symmetry principle. When no harm, power symmetry disappears with the emergence of one individual able and willing to inflict harm. BIPOC experience has been that there doesn't seem to be any failure of imagination when asymmetrical power is applied to us. When Chauvin jabbed his knee on George Floyd's neck, he seemed very lucid. Quote, "Then stop talking, stop yelling. It takes a heck of a lot of oxygen to talk," unquote, said Derek Chauvin, a white officer who held his knee to Floyd's neck for nearly 8 minutes after Floyd stopped moving. Pantaleo didn't have a failure of imagination when he placed his arm around Gardner's neck and wrestled him to the ground With multiple officers pinning him down, Gardner repeated the words, quote, "I can't breathe," unquote. We could go on and on through the whole lot of United States history, the transatlantic slave trade, Southern plantations, the Indian Wars, Manifest Destiny, Mexican-American War, COINTELPRO, Manzanar, Black Wall Street, Tuskegee Experiment, and Ruben Salazar at the Silver Dollar Bar. So we're not ignorant. This is nothing more than a red herring to cover up when that directed violence is self-inflicted. We go back to Testament. The lesson of the widow's mite, or the widow's offering, that's Mark 12:41-44, Luke 21:1-4 for the Bibliophiles, where two mites, Greek lepta, are together worth a quadrans, the smallest Roman coin. A lepton was the smallest and least valuable coin in circulation in Judea, worth about 6 minutes of an average daily wage. Our politicians will reduce us like widows into poverty, encourage and compel us for overly piety beyond our means, reject their inverted totalitarianism that fails to condemn the widow's generosity, the social system that makes us poor, and the asymmetrical value system that coerces us, and those classes that condition us to accept their canceled symmetry.
Yo. Tez dropping that knowledge on us, bro. As always, it's been a Tez talk. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Mr. Tezozomoc.
Wide-ranging, deep, and brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of that Roman Greco stuff for you and Nemo Sum, it was purely by coincidence.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, so coming up next, we had Coach Jah Smalls. He was connected on his iPhone in here, but I'm not seeing him here anymore. Yeah, I think he might have rolled out. So, coming up next, ooh, this man right here done schooled me up. He blessed me on my first book that ain't even released yet. He like pre-blessed my book, told me the path to success. We got the Mr. Darkman Blues himself, Samuel Rain. If you can just bless us with some of those sweet words, brother, I'd appreciate it.
It was a moment of anticipation, at least I thought it would be. She was that second of temptation that stopped me. I could see her into it, seems to have captured her imagination. She didn't blink an eye when I said hello. She just kept on reading as if I were not there. I wanted her attention. I could see the title of the book. To my surprise, it was my own pen. I knew then that this would be a moment to go all in, so I recited a line. I knew she had already read. If I were making love, hold that thought. She was a love poem and didn't know it. So I began to write her down, my understanding she needed to feel this way. Her private time would be me tasting her emotions, those hidden thoughts, knowing she needed my affection. I could never say no to doing it again. So I slept with poetry last night. Caressed her surrender like a dream came true. Had my emotions taken by pleasure to hear her affectionately whispering, Samuel Rain, you a freak. Oh, she would take me deep. I had intentions of never letting go. Her wordplay was my submission. No options given. I only needed my pen to go all in. One word, next line. Scripting this dope rhyme, you see. I slept with poetry last night because she made love to my mind. And now she knows I would read her. It felt good discovering myself. True story, this past forgotten, these ancient memories feeding my soul. I wanted more, and she was giving. Inviting me like home, she shared her emotions, leaving echoes on wall paintings. I spoke her name, and she's dark girl magic. It wasn't her appearance I fell into, thinking this what makes me. She was that dare I needed. I had to. She spoke her mind, and I don't mind the inner beauty moves me. I could taste the hunger. After all, she's temptation. If only she knew, dark girl, I'll be loving you with all of my senses. Not just the five they mentioned, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing if I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheets do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You sing it to me and I come alive. As the fire in your body engulfs the depth of my soul, I feel you like music. I am complicated passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
Dare I say it,
Beautiful said.
the smoothest motherfucker on the internet. Dare I say it.
I keep telling y'all, cool as the other side of the pillar. That thing
Right.
does it smooth as Jay Dilla. Telling
I wish you would just narrate my life. Oh, if I had the money, I would pay you to walk around just narrating my every step, every. Mm.
It's in you. Just free your emotions and let it flow. Just let them
Oh,
have it. Tell them your truth, and that's how it comes out. Once you speak your truth, your poetry will flow like magic.
mm.
That's what it does. You know, don't be afraid to give away some secrets. Everybody's got secrets.
Hey, Samuel, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate every time you show up here. I'm sure everyone here appreciates you. And just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, oh, we love it. We love it. We can't get enough of it. I'm gonna have to feature you soon, I think. We finna
Thank you,
have to
sir.
have one of
I
these nights for
appreciate
you
that.
soon. I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna talk about it, and I think I'm gonna have to throw you up on this feature.
All right.
'Cause we need more. We need more.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep this thing rolling here then. Coming up next, we got this very talented young man who I think I watched his first performance at a open mic. I think it was Elemental hosting, or was it Ray Jane hosting? It was at one of the New Yos, and he came on all nervous, talking about like, I don't know, I think I got a poem for y'all, and then just killed it and been killing it ever since, showing up, showing out, showing that he got bars on bars on bars. Let's give it up for this young man right here, Daniel Fernandes.
What's up? Thank you so much for having me, first of all. And I wanted to completely agree with Samuel saying that the magic is in all of us. It's in all of our hearts. We just need to write it down. Everything just flows naturally. And second thing I wanted to do was news. That just today, let me show you guys, I ended up getting my book. And today was actually the launch day.
Oh,
So I'll send
snap.
you,
Post
I'll
the
send a
links
link
in the
after I
chat.
perform.
I'll send it out to the Open Minds email group. Everybody, let's buy it.
And it's
Let's help
official.
support this young man. It's official. He got the book printed out. Congratulations. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to read it, man. And yeah, I hope it becomes a #1 Amazon bestseller because you deserve it.
It's a great feeling and also a scary one. And I'm open up with one of the poems in here. I don't have a stand to have the phone like kind of look at me, so I might have to do this like somewhat away from the camera. Right, here we go. Since it's Women's History Month, I was thought about performing a poem I made to a special someone at the time. This was written about like 6 years ago, so bear with me. It's called To Her. This is going to be a bit of a read, so sit back and relax. Enjoy these words of comfort, unlike a payment of stamp tax. Sexy and beautiful, without a doubt. Delighted in our company, since our friends disappear like water in a drought. Progression in ships of love and despair. A pyramid of intimacy, let shine brighter than a flare. Sorry for what you deal with on a daily basis, holding the hand of a minor, street living, house hopping like a jumping spider, being at school, switching roles to a mom with the kid to feed, with support of dead presidents because of a father's absence, gone like good weed. Daycare living for a child that arrived too soon. Sorry that you have the life that you do, struggling like Apollo 13 stripped to the moon. Brave, strong, and optimistic at times, a smile as precious as gold, like a guy with his heart up his sleeve, seeing the joy of others as his prime, holding pain like nature's call, anticipation so real, bouncing off the walls. Don't down yourself, you're great, stay happy, love the life that you got, even if it feels like crap. If you don't love yourself, others won't do it for you. Trust me, I've been juggling my emotions with my foot in a bear trap. Work for me haunts me, long hours of straight thinking, invasion to the brain, sanding pain into my skin of gluing hope onto shame. I lost a sister I shouldn't have lost. I almost lost my mother. Imagine that emotional cost. I lost my bond with my father. You want me to keep going? My brother nearly killed himself. What is life showing me? I was a mistake since birth. Yeah, sure, my parents love each other, but I was a consequence of my dad not liking a damn rubber. After school, I may be just working, going home, working home. I have no time for anything. No money for this, no time for that. I won't live to see a wedding ring. Crying all night. Yeah, I've done that shit. And way too many times. No clue what the fuck to do the next day, acting like shit will be fine. My brain is like, die, son, what you doing sticking around? And my heart's like, nah, man, stay and be chill. Optimize your life. Rewind your thinking like the end scene of Wanted when realization and destiny was found. Be happy, girl. I care about you. If you don't think anyone else does, well, then think twice. Screw those who left, although you're someone they knew. Smooth skin as well as bliss from a kiss. Energetic sex that sparked and last. I'm surprised it didn't break my wrist. A memory that we can't replace is more visible than a mist. Comfort so good we couldn't resist. Fulfill your fantasies and happiness with fun and entertainment. Control your life now, since the moment we grow, it's something we can't manage. Watch out, be aware, life ain't a moving picture. Dreadful world, writing a script of our lives while God sits down to polish the truth, assuming we had been told or given a lecture. Eat some spinach, get tough like Popeye. Let no one stand in your way, fuck the thirsty guys. Keep it cool like Arnold, hold faith with a bobby pin. Start a camp with a fire, let the stories begin. Tune a guitar of relatable pain, the sound of silence. Let words of a string evaporate, hugging our ears of good music, touching people faster than a virus. Beautiful hair, amazing voice and eyes, be zealous, keep moving on, it'll be a benefit. Even Vinny knows struggle shapes success if we let it. Don't quit or give up a fight with the devil. We all have demons within us, remember? Realize Satan was an angel once. We can't let ourselves down and suffer. We have to rise above it and stand out strong. Come up front. Everything will be okay. Struggles temporarily. Emboldened by pain to embrace thrill and pleasure. It's all momentarily. You scorned me, leaving me vague, but that's life apparently. But little do people know. Lessons learned. Our message is worth noting since it'll make you legendary. Thank you.
Yo, buy this young man's book. Put the link in the chat. Put the link in the chat. We want to buy it. We want to buy it. We need that book. Yo,
Thank
that
you so
was
much.
dope,
I appreciate
bro.
it.
Everybody copy that down. Buy it. Click on the links. Yeah. Coming up next, we got another fire poet. We all know and love this man. The razor blade shave with. I gotta say it every time. It's just too good. Everybody, let's give it up for CP Maze, baby.
Maze.
You're muted, brother.
Sorry.
Don't rob the people. Don't rob the people. Damn it. Come on.
I was speaking Latin too. It was the only Latin phrase I knew. I was trying to sound smart and shit, and then it wasn't muted and shit. No, I got two.
All right, do it over.
That ain't gonna happen. Yeah, I got 2 poems I got to work out for this 3D graphic thing that fell into my lap. So, yeah. All right. Your insecurities got abandonment issues. Your abandonment issues, codependency issues, have fears of rejection. You're passive aggressive. Don't doubt my demons never shut their mouth. Unlike Christ, who was raised on the 3rd, I wasn't raised off a box full of tissues. When they come for you, and they will come, Remind yourself, you're not washed up yet. If it bleeds, you can kill it. If it breathes, it's huntable. Final breaths are always non-refundable. Hell on earth is fresh out of vacation days, and there's only half a carton of almond milk in the fridge, and I'm past spent. Passing off another childproof prescription cap off as a graduation cap off as a milestone off, slightly in left brain off, getting for great sakes brain to keep up or keep down the liquor. Tomorrow's karma has already taken off with the half-naked hangover, getting dressed up in an insecurity to be worn at another one of my epic pity parties tonight. My cheeks are a garage where I park my problems, knowing I can't stop misspelling I love myself. My tongue rides around dictionaries with no collision insurance. If we were meant to be God's little proteges, then heaven must be a place where broken toys go to play. If God doesn't speak American, we're all fucked. The meek, the Messiah, and the rest of middle management still believes that Jesus stole the election, still stays storming the Capitol, still kept in collection plates. Sometimes our living God deserved an unemployment check, and I won't live long enough to watch my why won't you give up into going down without a goddamn back room for brawl slugfest. Hey, too much pain. Just go ahead and tell this can't be life, that believing in death died the moment we realized that the devil was a lie yesterday. A year-long argument with myself ended up in a fist fight with the maybe if I tell all of my love yous to go fuck themselves for long enough, might always be reminded that I'm a child of God, will stop living like the Bible's just a book club for losers. I've never been impressed with anyone's ability to quote scripture, for even our devils can quote scripture. And I promise Satan can do it even better than you. Our souls are non-refundable. Okay. So here's a poem that I've never read before out loud. It's called Plato, Socrates. Bear with me. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. End quote. Plato. To find yourself, think for yourself. End quote. Socrates. Honorably discharged as a sergeant in the Marine Corps, I walked away with 2 rolls of medals from serving 2 tours, walked away with night terrors. I've earned all of my nightmares. I've walked away with no court-martials, could have easily re-enlisted, but I couldn't walk away from Michael Johnson's 2 murder trials I had to testify in, walked away with sufferings from survivor's guilt, survivor syndrome, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, severe depressions, hypersensitivity to loud bangs I cannot see. I suffer from hypervigilance, you see. Hypervigilance, you see, is an enhanced state of sensory sensitivity accompanied by an exaggerated intensity of behaviors whose purpose is to detect any activity. So danger, detect any and all activity from stranger, danger. Hypervigilance's intensity detects any and all activity moving, AKA I am always at all times mind moving, am always at all times, always waiting for almost all assholes with their Billy Badass bravados to act out of character, because to protect my family, friends, and mine, I will and can kill everything in the room moving. Make no mistake, I'm no Billy Badass, but best believe I will bully bullies because most of these cowards that talk loud for the crowd, whether wrong or right, won't even bust a grape in a fucking fruit fight. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. End quote. Plato, Mace breathe. Sometimes at night, y'all, I can still hear the blades of 46s, 53s, Hueys, Cobras, and Harrier engines spooling up during high-tempo flight operations on the flight deck. I was the Marine Corps killer kid with the cracked halo and the weather-beaten book collection of Socrates and Plato ponderings in my right back pocket. I am the wisest man alive. But I know one thing, and that is I know nothing. End quote. Socrates. From Texas, one of my private first-class Marines stresses over a don't ask, don't tell policy that kept him stressing over openly loving the officer in the Air Force he fell dog tag head over boots for, or the corporal who wanted out of the course so bad that he took all of his uniforms out to the middle of the flight deck, drenched them in lighter fluid, sat in the cloth folded out Walmart chair purchased from the PX, and with the flick of his Zippo flint, torched his Alphas, Charlies, Camis, and dress blue uniform. And to make things worse, he roasted marshmallows over the fuckers over an open flame. Or the corporal from Louisiana who blew out his brains while his wife was still holding him. Or the corporal during the Liberty port we were in Greece who got so hammered that he scaled the wall outside of a club, backed up a few steps to take off running off the top of the rooftop full speed. He launched himself from the roof of the club, crashing into the apartment next to it, shattering the window in the next building, tumbling through. I can't imagine what the screams from his wife sounded like, or how many times their kid's daddy slammed his head into the ground until he passed out, or the staff sergeant who went down to the armory to check out his sidearm for cleaning, who loaded up a magazine with rounds, placed the pistol in his mouth, and attempted to blow his brains out, only to have the government-issued pistol cocked at an awkwardly placed angle, only to blow the side of his jaw out and not his brains. Be kind. For everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. End quote. Plato. Swallowing pain, pride, and purgatory. My stomach is a chemistry set where 19 pills per day keeps PTSD, survivor's guilt, survivor syndrome, severe depression, hypersensitivity, hypervigilance at bay. My stomach is a combination safe where I can spin 3 white pills to the right, 4 pink pills to the left, 6 more pills back to the right, and poof, there goes warfare, combat, CP, maze, conflict, struggle, battle, fight, Marine Corps killer kid with the crack halo, shooting shot glasses filled with the end of the tunnel light like passion. Where I find my heaven on earth paradise, driving on fumes, turning nothing left until I can swerve my life back into anything right, playing with the car wreck full deck, y'all. There's a preteen Jesus gene in the jaws of this life. Easily, for my Marine Corps brotherhood, for one or some to live gladly, I would have sacrificed my life. For my friends, family, and loved ones still willing to sacrifice my life. Survivor syndrome ain't wrong, but it sure as hell ain't fucking right. I could have easily lost my life like, listen, Lord, I'm not always ready to put up a good fight for God's light, but I'm getting there. With every nightmare scare, I'm getting there. Forsaken Fallout Boy with no fear. I'm an honest man's could fight for. Only the dead have seen the end of war. End quote. Plato, I am still here. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Tour de force.
Thank you for still being here. Thank you for still being here. One of my best friends who I went to middle school with had survivor's guilt and blew his brains out on Valentine's Day. He had 2 young children and a pregnant wife.
So sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for being here still. CP, you my fucking brother. Thank you for still being here.
Appreciate y'all for giving me room, man. Appreciate y'all for giving me room.
And we love you. I don't know if you heard Jess yell it out, but
was it in Latin? Did they do it in Latin? Did she yell it out in Latin?
Nah, yell it out in Latin. She was learning Latin. What's I love you in Latin? Ah, she don't know, but she yelled it out though. She gonna look it up next time.
It's
I'm gonna
called
call
Semper Fidelis. That's
oh,
love.
there you go.
Latin.
There you go.
Semper
Semper
Fidelis.
Fidelis, baby. There you go.
Semper Fi.
Semper
Thank
Fi,
y'all.
man. Semper Fi. Nah, thank you, sir. Hey, and thank you for everything that you've done for our country, and thank you for everything you've done for this world of poetry, and for showing up to this mic every Friday night, bro, and just spitting that fire. And thank you for being you. And thank you for still being here, man. And you are so loved. You are so loved, man. And 2 other people I gotta thank for being here. Who's coming up next? And I do believe it's the first time they hear at an open minds event. We got Ray Jane up in the building. So everyone unmute real quick and give a big open minds, open arms, open heart. Welcome to Ray Jane.
Ray Jane, welcome.
Hey.
Yeah, Thunderlung in the building.
Come on, Ray. Change the atmosphere. Do it.
Y'all know I just follow y'all around, right? Thank you so much for having me. I think I might have been here like before, but maybe months ago. So it's been quite
I
some.
think you popped in. I think you popped in once or twice.
But I'm glad to be in this space. I gotta dip afterwards. You see, I already got all my stuff on. I'm like, I gotta stay. I gotta hear as much as I can before I run out. And shout out to Nemo. I'm so sorry I missed it. I tried to sneak in as soon as I could, but I know you killed it, and I'm sure you're gonna kill it next week. And I'm gonna do my very best to be in attendance, cheering you on. Shout out to everybody who's going before me. CP, you're a monster of a man, brother. The words are just, my gosh, they're immaculate. And I am also glad that you are here. So thank you for existing and surviving. So I got 2 for y'all. Shorty and a longer, both new shit. I ain't read nowhere. So hopefully y'all mess with it. So the first one is entitled Pulchritude. I've been beautiful. On some high school shit, I was that girl that make a nigga reminisce. That one chick your nigga couldn't get, left a bunch of brothers notchless. My crotch too much of a gift, my body be Genesis. Begin you and upgrade your standards of living. I am an experience in endings. Sensual teachings in submission, a carnal argument to surrender expired thought processes. I want all your dendrites firing. Light up your mind with my moaning metaphysics, sapiosexual healing. Say my words to you so slow, your hips translate you into hieroglyphics. We elevate, pyramid your pulchritude to the ceiling. Look back at your reflection, catch glimpse of your interdimensional being. I offer you full cleanse. Call it intimacy. Left a bunch of brothers spotless. That one chick your mind couldn't grasp yet. The girl that make your God recollect. On some galactic shit. I've been beautiful. All right. And then the last one is entitled Wrap It Up. I feel how drained whole time at this big age I got too content with protecting my neck and forgot not to open my legs. Fucked around and divorced myself whole time at this big age, wondering why me, myself, and I feel estranged. Old lovers in a now cold bed. My heart never asked for a threesome, so when I got careless, all my locks got keyed. Some only bit worse than being robbed spiritually whole time. At this big age, thinking it's just emotions, just grief. Mourning the loss of what I believed about this body, how little reverence was in an inside job, a self-inflicted invasion. Whole time, at this big age, I had not realized who was Stonehenge, that these yams can be portals, can just let any old creature have access. Not all are strong enough not to dissociate, leave remnants of their dopamine imbalance in my dampness, leave it to fester in fertile conditions. Whole time, at this big age, I didn't see Sage as a spiritual douche, at least not for this poontang, so no wonder I forgot to smudge my honeypots before letting new bees pollinate, giving sweet nectar for poor. Now I'm here, at this big age, having long closed my cave of wonders, sitting in salinated water, releasing darkness and replacing with full moonlight. Whole time, at this big age, finally wearing protection properly.
Had to get off mute. Well done. Well said.
That's just not okay. That's just not okay. That she could just show up and do that shit. That's just not okay.
Your pen,
saying.
your
Like,
voice.
make sure you plug it in with the Thunderline, for real. It's not okay.
You left me speechless.
You
fucking left me speechless. I usually always got some quick whip to come up and some props, but like, you left me fucking speechless. Yo, that first one was so fire. The second one too, like, Ray Jane, thank you so much for coming out to Open Minds Open Mic on Friday.
Absolutely.
We love you. Everyone here loves you, and you did so well. And I just, I'm speechless.
I feel you. I appreciate you. Thank you
She
all for
snatched the words out my mouth. I always got something to say. Like she.
I'm sorry, I got to bounce, but I love y'all, and I thank you so much for letting me be a poet, and not
Yeah.
just, a
Well, we
leader.
hope you have a wonderful, blessed night, and thank you for showing up. And I hope to see you here next Friday.
And what? I'm actually going to be at a conference next
Well,
Friday.
then the following Friday.
You already know. I'm with you.
All right, that's my girl right there. I'll be there on Thursday. You gonna be here on Friday. We make a deal.
You know how we get it.
Yeah, community, love, peace to all the poets. And speaking of which, community, this man right here, I don't know. I'm sure all y'all been to Monday Night New York. They had passed the mic over to this man to be the host of it, and it has grown since, because he got the grown shit. This man always on point with his introductions, with the fire, with the mic. Yo, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Listen, to every poet who came before me and after, your energy is necessary, your voice is valuable, and your energy in this space allows me to do what I do. Peace and blessings to all of you, I do happen to host the Monday night online open mic hosted by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Make sure you're plugging in with the Queen Ray Jane. She hosts the Thursday night edition of the online open mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Listen, I was saying to myself as I saw this part of the lineup between CP, Ray Jane, and myself, it's heavy. Listen, there are people I haven't seen in a while. Shout out Frog Corpse. I haven't seen my brother Frog in a while. Nemo Sum. That cat is incredible. Every time I get a chance to hear him, Mr. Tez, always good to hear your voice. Daniel Fernandes, of course. Lantern, you're phenomenal in every angle. Gustav, Damn it, Gustav, you just do this shit. All right. If y'all allow me maybe about 5, I'm gonna do 2 pieces, both brand new shit. First one is taste bud tantrums. Yeah, shout out to the paint slingers. Have you ever smelled filet on your route to the kitchen paradise where your nose is going down James Brown gravy like grits that get your biscuits in motion, floating on potency like mighty clouds of joy, wrapped in the kind of love you couldn't pay for on your best day? Served up spicy as Tabasco dreams at exquisite temperatures that taste like just enough grandmama and them with that pinch of this, little bit of that from scratch, throw it in the oven, let it percolate till it's the color of Auntie B's fried chicken. Good Lord. Golden as memories sitting around nothing but beanie weenie and cornbread. Thankful we didn't go to bed hungry, but full of understanding for more than pots and pans that bully burners into making magnificence with minimal ingredients, they say. Home is where the heart is safest, shed escapist logic, pull up a chair to harmonious sounds of frying, sizzling, sauteing flavors to perfect blends of bona fide time machines. Every bite a new phrase captured in preparation for next phase of culinary wizardry. First course. Sticks to your ribs and still lets you move fast as time allows type shit. Next course. Lessons of getting lessons learned in every scrap and morsel wasted. Seasoning come from leaves, baby. Money don't grow on trees. By third course correction, comprehension becomes side dish. Call it chips off old blocks of time one can never get back. For dessert, such a treat to be in presence of greatness who cool whips conflict to wrangle meringues into souffle or pastry with life's bitter bite and sweet finish. So cacao, we bow our plates, blank slates to accept masterpieces with open arms and wide eyes that overload assholes at times just as fast as teapot whistles remind us magic exists. Baked into every oxtail, that tongue wag your hungry ass straight to the table. Engage all your senses in every kernel of corner to corner casseroles that catfish croquettes into concrete cuisine. Running on cream of wheat mornings and leftover evenings with every slice of government cheese in between. Thank the Lord, he blessed my people with magic in their fingers. All right. Next piece. This piece really is super brand new, man. Built in a workshop this morning. Shout out to Daughter of Krypton. It's an animal's world. Days start with an alarming sparkle of light reflecting at perfect angles from chameleon skin of light from every spectrum, put prisms to shame. It's a DNA thing. Hear Blue Jays singing scores of war stories or best of 7 series between Raptors and Grizzlies or Lions and Titans for control of this vertical world axis. In motion now, head straight to Hippo to wash faces viewed in window panes held together by silkworm saliva and gorilla glue for weatherproofing. Standing under elephant trunk cascades of the warmest variety, listen as parrots deliver news from the jungle of humanity and bull markets, research trends where zebras and tigers argue about stripes, listening to wildebeests fanning flames to burn donkeys and political positions, making an ass out of every possum with rights to vote. If we leave it to sheep to determine our progress, everything good will be bad. More Animal Farm, less Supreme Court jesters dancing around issues like birds of paradise and mating season, hounded by hungry hogs that send piglets into streets, greasing palms and tentacles that ink deadly deals with sharks and piranha to Bermuda Triangle, the air breathers into submission. Jumped on the pigeon, send messages to dog pound gangsters, let them know it's time to arrange the orangutans, vital plans in motion, next stop circus stadium, grand old stage without content cages. Shall I take the pterodactyl, cut off traffic, or brontosaurus that stops at every tree and every bush between me and my dreams coming true. Maybe the whale, that might work. The calming sounds of waves crashing back against dangerous thoughts and anxiety-filled lungs ready to scream bloody murder to the death of fear. The rabbit may be the fastest, but they run wild, cutting cats off, screaming at turtles, trying to keep up with mustangs and hybrid gazelles, pumas and panthers, all to get the same laughter as they pass you, reckless, fast and furious in pursuit of ruling class access to aviaries high enough to bump your head in clouds. Cumulus concussions leave brains foggy. Funny how trash birds pretend to speak for lemurs and ants, scorpions and bats, and all the desert dwellers, when they can hardly stand the sight of them other than basted with sides of arugula and pine cones for roughage. Their delicate bellies can only consume their prey in hopes to remain top of the food chain. Peace, y'all.
Wow. Yeah.
Elemental, my brother, I really want to thank you and bless you, and I appreciate you showing up with some wet paint at that, bro. Premier here at Open Minds, dude. Fucking, you are amazing. You truly are a fucking wordsmith, bro. Like, I know you always shout out all these people. You're like, yo, I think they're pen made out of iron. They're blacksmiths because they be fucking hammering out them. You, my good sir, you're like, what's that movie where they had Peter Dinklage as a giant that was hammering down a pen on? I think it was one of the Marvel movies or something. He was making the new Lord of the
That would be
Rings, yo.
Thor. No, that would be Thor.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, yo,
Mm.
Thor done made your pen, boy.
Hey, storm gods in the building, man. Listen, listen. If you don't know about the storm gods, you need to check in. All right, plug in with Paul Conqueso, plug in with Zum Conto, and listen. There's some other storm gods that are in the building that are coming along, man. So make sure you plug into those folks,
Yeah.
man. We are atmosphere changers, weather rearrangers, man. Plug in.
Yeah, hey, speaking of Kanto, I think he's gonna be on Whispers in the Wind with us too, with Sfongo doing the verse. CP May's gonna be on that. We got a bunch of people coming out on that. That shit's gonna be out soon. It's gonna be a song, yo. We got a beat. We gonna make a lyric video. We coming with some fire with that one.
Hey, plug me, man. Plug me in. Let's go.
Yeah, you down?
Do
You
it.
down for Whispers in the Wind?
Hey, let's do it. Let's
Oh,
if you're doing it that level, like
yeah,
yo, with those
bro. We got fire. We got
let's
Megas and Daniel on it. We got
let's
my
change the
wife and
accents.
some other.
Let's make it 23.7. Fuck 23.5. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, y'all heard it here first, man. Whispers in the Wind coming soon, featuring the dopest, nothing but the dopest poets out there in this whole Zoom sphere, in this whole universe, bro. And I don't know what they got going on in the Andromeda galaxy, but I'll tell you this much: they ain't doing it like we do in the Milky Way, right here on Earth. This little dust ball we call home. Well, we got some people bringing fire in this building. And I just want to thank you again. I know Ray Jane dipped out, but I want to thank both y'all for showing up and showing love to Open Minds. And y'all do it every time I show up. Y'all always shout us out, man. And we probably wouldn't have had this amount of great poets showing up if it wasn't for y'all's platform, if it wasn't for y'all shouting me out. So I want to appreciate y'all for a moment and say thank you for sending all these blessed poets my way and letting them share it.
Hey man, there's an age-old set adage that says game recognized game, right?
Yeah.
And when you step into a realm of people who you know are doing it for the right reasons, you have no hesitation in plugging them, right? And that's what you do. Everybody in this space is a part of this space, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I have no problem plugging your space, because you're about community building. And that is what the New Year is all about, man. Each one of the hosts is all about community building. That is what your platform is about. And we will continue to shout you out, man.
Yeah. I was just talking to my wife about that last night. Cause Rage and everybody and they boosted up tonight with Nemo and everything. And I was like, yo, they usually don't do that at New York. Like they'll usually try to stick to their own stuff. But I'm like, if you notice, they always shout out Open Minds, talking about plug-in. This is the spot to be on a Friday. We do Monday, Thursday. This spot to be on a Friday. And I appreciate y'all. And we got so much great talent in the room. So many great poets show up, and yeah, we got some newcomers, and we got a legend in the building still. So we might even go for round two. We got another half hour before I gotta be somewhere else. But so I'm gonna introduce this next person right here. They've showed up to a few mics now. We got Principe in the house. Look, at work, still staying in, plugged in, listening to us all, jamming out at work, doing their thing. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Hello. This is a new poem that I wrote a few days ago. It's called "It Is What It Is." As babies, we cry needy tears. As children, we remember the things, places, and events that shaped us. Those are just timestamps in our mind. Once as adults, everything we know goes out the window. Remember that childhood of yours? That too is out. Because reality sets in as the sun sets, because life is in your face at the light. And I'm reading one more. It's called Fire Starter. What's lit? You, the house, your bed, everyone around you. Maybe it's the buildings around you. Whatever it is on fire, everyone knows about it. Something like a rumor, something like a lie, something like an illusion. That's all I have for tonight.
Oh, everybody on mute, give it up for Prince P coming through, yo. Hey, we appreciate you. We hope to see you
Awesome.
back here every Friday, man. We love watching you grow and watching you write new stuff. And we hope we inspire you. We hope we keep that thunder alive inside you, brother. You doing it. And we love it. Yo, coming up, we have an amazing poet. I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been at?
Look, giving birth, my new baby is finally copywritten. She's copywritten.
Yeah,
So
you got your new baby out.
I've been in
Post
labor.
links. I want to see the
Yes.
cover. Post
Cover
links.
reveal's not ready yet. I gotta get a photo shoot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so met my first 3 children though, right?
Yo.
The firstborn, also high. Secondborn, also whole. Third child with some other poets. What won't break. Also, woman is coming up, and she is gorgeous.
Oh, I can imagine.
She's my favorite baby thus far.
Yeah. I
Thank you so
always
much
love
for
your
having me.
performance. Thank you so much for coming through. And I know you showed up a little late, see last on the list, but you know what they say?
No, I was
May
just
the best
was
for
like, hey, I
last.
just came to listen. I didn't think I would get on the list. Thank you. May said I should do Smile Responsibly. That one's kind of funny. So can I do 2? She's a short baby.
Yeah,
Can I
you
do
could do 2. Of course. We got
First
time,
piece.
man. Yeah.
First piece is called Dangerously Carefully.
Oh.
He said, do the dangerous thing carefully. I said, tell me when that has been a choice for me. I am woman, beautifully black at that. I'm never not standing up to attacks on my shape, my complexion, my mouth, motives, and intentions, my femininity, my sensuality, my spiritual condition. It's so pervasive that I have to stand up to the cutting criticisms of other women, even myself included. The exclusion for fault finding, honestly, sometimes the only inclusion I'm finding open to me. Just to sit comfortably soft is a danger, a revolt. And as a result, I'm a rebel to even consider taking time off. Self-care ain't trending for nothing. It's intriguing to see a person living outside the walls, doors, and barbed wire fences of contentious opinion on just living and breathing. And when it comes to women, oh, you see her raking and tilling her posts with edits for the critics. I've never seen a man defend his life experience like this. But sis, oh, she got to explain all the multitudinous ways she's handling every facet of her business, and maybe some that isn't, and why she does or doesn't deserve this. To those whose time seems otherwise occupied until it's time to chime in on her decisions, where you been? Soft life is a carefully navigated wonder. It's as dangerous as moonwalking tightrope from the moon to the sun to be woman. Every heel into humble submission comes at the toe of saying no to somebody who thinks it audacious that our God granted her permission to have our regard. Somebody disregarding her worthiness, her heel toe through landmines, somebody will mistake for dancing and reduce her artful execution to his or her mindless entertainment. Not too much. Too little and never enough, but beleaguered so much just because they witnessed her beast mode. So beast of burden must be her role, a toll for the toll taken. Tax her in pretty, and she should be quick to pay it off. She can shake it off, but don't take too long adapting, because that's perceived to be a lazy and entitled write-off of everything else she brought to the table, troubled with reduction and self-deprecation that a brunch and a spa day can only do so much to mend. But yeah, she gon' crip walk through obstacle course, of course, loyal in all the things, barely breaking stride to straighten her crown queen. Full-time even on her sick days, else somebody gonna have something to say. Somebody gonna weigh in on what weight she should be able to, if only she would, if only she could bury her shoulders in burden. He said, do the dangerous thing carefully. I said, tell me when that has been a choice for me. And smile responsibly. Okay, sure, baby. Thank you. Where is she? Here we go. Oh, sorry, went back to my last piece. Yeah. Oh, come on, mama. You did. Here we are. A smile partially responsible. Oh, goodness. Sorry, I closed the file by accident. I got jitters just now. Okay.
That's absolutely normal. I don't think anyone who approaches the mic without some sort of anxiety or nerves is not human.
Yeah, you're a sociopath if you just gonna walk up like, I got this.
Right?
Oh, it's
I'm
just
only
because
stalling
this.
for you to
It's
get
just because I've
yourself
never
together.
spit this baby
That's all.
before. That's what it
Right.
is.
EP Maze, you are more exceptionally beautiful now. I think someone's in your
Yeah, what
foreground that's
happened there,
making you
CP?
lovely.
You got looking good
Cause
over
your
there,
ass
bro.
ugly, boy.
Did you do something with your
Let's
hair?
go.
You looking good,
Let's
brother.
go.
Hugs you. I love you. Okay, let me hurry up and get spit this so I get out your way. A smile partially responsible for global warming. Sometimes shy, but mostly open, inviting. Full hands, full of promise. 32 stars and blazing beastly conditions with angelic semblance. It's just common sense, but it can't be on display 24/7. Yet there is always some ignorant body tempting fate, talking about smile pretty. Unaware she's trying to stave off catastrophe. Talking about you too pretty to look so mean. What's wrong, baby? The atmosphere would cave with a steady exposure to her happy. Are you kidding me? Leave that woman alone. She's just trying to smile responsibly. Sorry. Thank you for listening to me.
Yo, CC, thank you so much for coming out. Oh, I missed you. I love your
Beautiful smile.
performances. Like, oh, you're so good with it. Like, so dope, man. You inspire me. You really do. You inspire me.
Thank you.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I just need to. Can you do me a favor? Can you make sure Swan is talking tonight? I need Swan to talk tonight.
You are gorgeous in every way, beautiful. I love you so much.
I love you,
See,
roommate.
that's what we about. That's what we about. The love, the love. That's what
Thank
we about,
you.
man. The community and the love. Oh, I love it, man. Yo, what a night tonight. Like, was tonight not one of the best Fridays y'all had in a minute? Nemo came in and just brought the thunder, bro. Everybody was amazing. We had so many amazing people come out. Yeah, I just want to thank all of y'all for blessing me with your presence. And we've been doing this new thing now. I wrote up just a little quick little poem, and I've been having different poets read it, kind of like they do at New York and Deadpan Lizzie been doing. And I thought it was a great idea. So Nemo, if you'd like to read the good night poem for us.
I will. And I'm just blown away. It's such an amazing night. So thank you. Thank you, beautiful soul, for sharing your heart. Thank you for being here and caring for art. Thank you for unfolding the wholeness, for being a part, for participating in our mission to spread light into the night, for your stimulating transmission and widespread sight. Thank you for visiting Open Minds, Open Mic.
And on that note, I want to say you all have the most beautiful souls that I've ever seen, and I hope to see you again on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yo, man, you and that Yoda voice though, for real. Just be with you. Like, yo, this is just a great space, man. Your energy is felt for everyone that's here. You know what I mean? You continue to open that space for folks, and we'll continue to come through. You know what they said, right? If you build it, they will come. With the right energy, you can't stop them from coming. Appreciate you.
I
Shout out to Nemo
appreciate
Sum for his incredible feature. I hate that I missed it, but I know that dude's on point as always.
Hey,
Appreciate
we
you.
lacking on the video uploads, but we gonna get them all up soon. I know we like months behind now, but we working on some that we're gonna get them edited and popped up there soon. I might have to pay someone to get them chopped and screwed and put on YouTube, but eventually you'll be able to see this. So look forward to the Nemo soon.
No, he didn't. Thomas 5,000 watts in the building. Come on, man. Let's do it.
Hey yo, hey, thanks for that, Elemental man. Like, I started this a few months ago just because I wanted to share poetry with the world and bring some cool people together, and I think I've accomplished that. Like,
You've done that.
yeah, like look at the space we created, man. I couldn't have done it without any of y'all, man. So I feel blessed, and I just want to tell all y'all that I appreciate every single last one of you guys, and I hope to see you here every Friday. Like, this is our safe place. This is our home, and this makes my weeks, man. Like, I look forward to this every Friday, and yeah, and I also look forward to Mondays and Thursdays at the New Yo. And Elemental, thank y'all for showing up, man. I don't know what to say except for I fucking love all y'all. Have a wonderful night.
Peace.
It's all about community, baby. I'll holla at y'all soon. See y'all Monday night. Peace.
Yeah. Peace out, man.
One light.
Right.
One light, one love, one fam.